There's a lot of things that go into creating atmosphere in games. Most of the time it's aspects like world building in detail, and other times it's simplistic features like lighting and color. When a game is able to fully grasp these ideas and push them out there, you know you got something good, and that's where Pressure shines. From the incredible voice acting to the stellar staff team that breathes life into this universe, this game really does have it all. So today, I wanted to take a second to look at a big detail that goes into making this game feel immersive, and that is color. This is something Pressure really does right. Their color indication really does shine in a game like this. Every corner you pass, every door you enter, the colors you end up seeing feel intentional, as if they were meticulously thought out to bring out an emotion for the player in that circumstance. So for today's video, I wanted to go over some of the big colors we see throughout our gameplay. And of course, before we get started, if you're new here, I'm babasmind. I'm obsessed with this game called Pressure, and you'll have lots of fun on this channel if you stick around. Maybe even become a channel member in the meantime. Thanks for all the support recently. It's truly appreciated. Now let's jump right in. Let's start with an easy one, red. One thing in particular I've picked up about this color is the tone the game portrays through this color. Red can be seen as a way to show uneasiness. It's used to paint a sort of unsettling image every time you see this color. Like the lane, man. For example, the emergency lights. The emergency lights turn on after you stay in a dimly lit room for too long, meant to represent the length you've stayed in a room is overdue, and it's time to proceed. This lighting is meant to give the player a sort of unease, a reason to leave where they are now. Speaking of unease, let's move on to the administration room type. Personally, I believe the admin rooms are specifically made to be red on purpose. It's as if Urban Shade knew exactly what they were doing when they decided to make an area where most representatives and higher-ups would be. Being a regular black site worker walking into the administration would definitely fill me with dread seeing these crimson walls. It's as if it's a mind game, to put fear in their workers for being there. Another very big detail you'll see in the black site is its organizations and personnel. For example, Navi, being the supercomputer that controls literally everything in the black site, every door, every monitor, anything technical in that place, Navi most certainly has a way to control it, being the overbearing big brother, or the big sister, as we should say in this case. It would make most sense to obviously be the color red, since the trend of this color seems to be an overbearingly powerful and unsettling force showing off to everyone in everything that surrounds the black site. And I say it wouldn't be too far off to theorize that they get this idea from the Badlands itself. Being a place covered in this color, the only thing you should be feeling here is fear. I think what makes this color so representative of these feelings is that in a game where you're mostly underwater all the time, you're gonna see a lot of the main color of Pressure, the default color of the halls you embark upon on your first journey, the overarching color you won't be able to get away from. After all, you're thousands of studs underwater. The best feeling to describe this color is woe, the depressing feeling you feel trudging your way to your unmistakable doom. Every door you enter is an inch closer to your one-way ticket to the murky depths you'll soon call your grave, while simultaneously being followed by the single color scientifically proven to invoke a feeling of woe and despair when used properly. The intentionality of this color kind of makes itself clear when you begin your first couple rounds of the game. The game shrouds itself in this color to immerse the player. Water, for example. Obviously, being so deep in the ocean, you really can't see ahead of you, but that helps the feel of this darkening void surrounding the black site. If you've ever taken the time to look outside the various windows in the black site, you won't see much. It feels vast, the infinite unknown being on the other side of this window. But in reality, you as the expendable are stuck there. There's nowhere to go but forward. You signed up for this. Why did you sign up? There's no going back now. In most games, green is seen as safety, or a way to determine paths to take. While in Pressure, the latter is definitely true in some cases, there are actually enough examples to give this color more of a sense of false hope. Since green is often seen as a non-threatening and more of a guiding color, Pressure takes this thought and does a 180 on its meaning. Most examples of green in this game are foreboding forces, like infestation or the numbers on the door signs. While the color still shows instances where it's used in a common way, like the guiding beacons you follow in the water, they can constantly be overshadowed by the quote-unquote bigger fish. And with Infestation, it's even more on the nose. When Infestation appears, she has a chance to display dialogue of HQ asking us to look into her eyes, slowly getting more and more dramatic as the player willfully avoids eye contact, with these actions obviously portraying another example of false security, with the psychic shark telling us everything will be okay if we do so. Even with the oxygen gardens, the green you see is so diluted by the other colors because of how the world is built. The color everyone is familiar with being an inviting and safe force is now shrouded by a dim lighting, fusing this green into a brownish red mess. It's trying to tell you that this is not a safe place, intentional or not. The color green is seen as an unreliable force. And after I wrote the script for this section, the Heartburn update dropped, giving us an entirely new example as to the color being another sense of false security, the Pariah. The Pariah is a version of the Rotten Coral zombie that whispers to us about a whole new world, a new life we could have if we join them. It tells us there's nothing left for us here and we should give ourselves over to the Rotten Coral, a soft but demanding voice preaching all of this, all basked in the tone of green. Time for the bonus round. We'll be going over smaller colors used in the game that aren't as important but still deserve to be talked about. Black. Black is often described as a lack or absence of light, which this game is filled to the brim with. Every dark room you step in every void you peer into, no matter how logically you see this game for all its number encoding, it will still invoke that fear of uncertainty for what's ahead. When you first start playing this game, every unlit corridor feels like a new challenge, a new vulnerability for you to traverse through. This is where the darkness known as black ironically shines. As the majority knows, humanity has evolved around the distinction that darkness is a bad thing. That's why it's used so effortlessly in horror media. The unknown is a driving force that causes fear in many, and that's why it works so well in this mysterious unknown facility, filled to the brim with entities only the mind's limits can fathom. Purple. Although used very rarely, this color is used to indicate certain monsters, and a sort of whimsy in the player's playthroughs. Most experience where the player gets a little sidetracked is usually followed by this color. Whether it's the gambling room with Frack Jumper or the secret artifice room jump scare, there's plenty of fantastical experiences surrounding this color. Weirdly enough, this is true. Take a look at most of the rare rooms in the game, and there's probably a theme of purple surrounding it. Definitely not any huge masses of void hanging around or anything. Okay. Hopefully reaching this point in the video made you understand why I personally thought this video would be so important to make. The design choices for this game have always felt so intentional, even if some have said otherwise. Color is important to many of us. It's an integral part of our lives. Without color, things feel flat, lifeless. In this game, it isn't just used for visual means. It's its own indicator, its own language, holding this game up like Atlas. I hope this video makes you appreciate the little things in this game, and possibly other experiences you may have too. Color is vital, and many other things can make you feel that way too. What have you noticed recently? Alright, and that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed. This video took 2 months to push out there. I made this script originally back in July, and the idea for this video has been kicking around in my brain a lot longer than that. I'm really glad I could finally put this out here, because it's a very integral part of how I enjoy this game. I know it hasn't seemed that hectic to you guys, but my life has been so wild for the past couple months, and I've been trying my best to find my groove again. I'm just glad I still got people willing to listen to me yap. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.